So in this video, I want to talk to you about collecting your exam details, which I believe that many students don't usually do, but I want to get your attention towards this because it's really important. And you know, like knowing your key details really helps you to prepare for your exams the most effective way and avoid any last minute surprises that you will get. So I've identified here a few things that you should focus on getting to know and writing down immediately for each course. So you can keep it available in like a piece of paper that we will talk about to attach to your study packages, or you can keep it on an Excel file or anything like that. So all of these details for these things are. So if you need to refer to them, you don't need to go looking for them, right? So I would say figure out how to answer them much as you can, but this is something you should really focus on knowing, because it really helps you to stay focused and not worry about getting finding these things out later. Okay, so focus on doing this as one of the first things, right? So focus on getting finding the room location that you need to go and figuring out how to get there, right? No, do this much earlier in the exam. Don't do it like last 2 days and figure out where you need to go. Plan it out earlier, right? And make sure that you know the time of the exam, right? And it's in your local time. It's not in different time zones, so it's which time zone is in your exam is at. um and make sure that you match with that time zone, right? And the other thing is, make sure that you know the format of this exam. You need to know whether it's a multiple choice, short answer, essay type, or if it's something different, right? To know what sort of an exam it is. And the next thing is know the number of questions that are going to be there, because that's going to tell you how do you need to prepare for it. So if there's like over like 50, or if you like there's 100 questions, you need to make sure that you can handle 100 question exams earlier, right? And prepare for that. And we talk about how to prepare for those type of exams later in the course, but there's something you need to prepare for if you have to take a large number of questions, especially if you're taking more than 100. So know how much questions, and know how much time is for each of the exams, right? So how much time is given for each, so that way you can divide your time and plan it out what you need to do, like plan your exam and what needs to happen. And number of marks for each question, right? I think this is pretty obvious in terms of knowing, usually it's 1 mark, but understand whether there's going to be any penalties for negative guessing, like getting it wrong. Very unlikely, but know if that's the case, right? And also know which topics will be covered for the exam, like what sections or what topics will be covered for the exam. This is very important. And at least know that you can grab that information quickly, right? That way you don't need to guess. But I would say we will be talking about the study plan that you'll be taking, these things, the topics that you covered going to be covering, and you're going to be putting in a study plan that you can give it to other people, essentially. That you can give it to yourself, right? That you can use it for other reasons. um and the next thing ne- and the next thing I would say to focus on figuring out which topics will be covered. um this will be important. We'll be covering on how to create a study plan, that these topics will become in handy for you in order for you to create that, right? So know which topics will be covered, because study plans, like I said, it's one of the most important things you can do to keep yourself organized and have a system to get your studying done. And the next thing is to make sure that whether it's cumulative or not. Is it like like putting all the material that you learn together? If it's like a final, sometimes you might have a midterm and then a final, and sometimes things that are covered in the midterm not covered in the final, right? So how do you obviously don't need to study for two extra material now, right? So know whether it's cumulative or not. Even if it's cumulative, it's okay. Just know whether, plan it out properly, give yourself time to do it, right? I would say start all these things, at least if you're taking a university course, at least 14 days before your exam, right? That's something I would recommend. But if you're taking any professional certifications or any other certificate, it might need months of preparation, right? So some exams might take 6 8 months. I've prepared for exams like CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst, and that took me like 5 6 months to prepare, right? Even longer for some of them other ones, right? So I would say prepare and start collecting these things earlier, so that way you have time. You have, start earlier, then you have time. So once you have get these details, it will also make your life a lot easier to deal with, right? So, and that's what I would recommend. All right, see you in the next video.